this is our problem that we started with the last video, so we pick back up here. We're given that information. Now what we want to recall is that sine of theta, our definition is going to be sine of theta is equal to your y value over your radius, and your cosine of theta is equal to your x value over your radius. Well, they gave us that, right? They tell us, so right here, if we know that's going to be -3/5, then we know those values. And if they tell us cosine is 4/5, then we know those values. Well, then we recall our definitions for tangent of theta, so that's your x over your, your y over your x. What was y? Good, -3. And what is the x value? We come over here and we say our x value is going to be 4. So tangent theta is -3/4. Cosecant, by definition, right, is going to be your r value over your y value, or the reciprocal of the sine. Well, if we just did the reciprocal of that sine value, we would get 5 over -3. So you can either use your definition or the reciprocal. Secant is going to be 1 over the cosine, or the reciprocal of that, which is going to be 5 over 4. The definition for that one would be r over x. And then cotangent is the reciprocal of this, which would be 4 over -3. Or by definition, just to keep that consistent, so the cotangent would be your x over your y, and your secant is going to be your r over your x. Okay, so they can give us information and we can fill in the rest of the remaining trig functions. Another thing you will be asked to do is, given sine and also telling us a quadrant we're in, we're asked to find the remaining trig functions. So take a few minutes, pause it, and write that down. Alright, so sine of theta equals 12/13 in quadrant 2. Okay, so I wrote this on the next page to remind sine of 12 over 13, and also need to make the statement we're in quadrant 2. So I drew my angle over here in quadrant 2. And my sine by definition is my y value, so that means my y value is 12, and my radius is going to be 13. Well, how can we find this missing side? We can just use Pythagorean theorem. So we'll do that to the side. We'll just say a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We'll just solve for side A. Side A we're going to look for, we'll let 12 be our b. Remember, your longest side always has to be your hypotenuse. It has to be the c. So we get 12 squared is equal to 13 squared. So a squared plus 144. 13 squared is 169. We want to get a by itself, so let's subtract 144 from both sides. And we get a squared is equal to 25. Square root. I hope you remember doing Pythagorean theorem. So this is going to be a is equal to plus or minus. A is just going to be plus or minus the square root of 25, which is just 5. That means this value is either positive 5 or negative 5. But in the order system, if I start at 0, 0, and I go to the left, it's going to be -5. So we want to make sure we have -5. Now we have an x value, a y value, and a radius value. I wrote our definitions over here. So we'll have our x value over r. Okay, so our x value is going to be -5, and our radius is going to be 13.